Oh, hello there, and welcome to Vintage Tech 1. I was just reading some helpful hints on speaking by Kleiser. Very interesting book, printed in 1911. Really was. Copyright 1910, by the way, by Funkin' Wagnalls Company, printed in the US. Speaking about the US and printing, why don't we look at this? Some stuff I found in my collection of items. I think I talked about it last time, and this is the V-mail. So, what do we have on this? V-mail. Well, V-mail was sent overseas from the troops to home and from the home to the troops. And it was easy. It was actually sent using something quite like this. I took about a week to two just to recreate the whole V-mail setup, folding it and creating the back part. I used an actual V-mail I purchased online on the internet. It's amazing what you can buy online. Well, I recreated the sleeve that the V-mail would actually go into. So as you can see, my desk is a bit messy, and I do apologize. Moment. And you can see today's date, by the way. Here we go. Now put it in the comments if you saw today's date. You might get a personal message from me. You will get a personal message from me for being so studious. Now, the V-mail was created during the Second World War. It was meant, as I said, to send home letters. How it works just like the outside of an envelope. You put the name, who it's to, who it's from, and that's it. After that, you have this inside. So it usually comes folded already like this, but not creased in the middle. That way, it can sit evenly. I've recreated the packaging, not the backing part, but it would sit like this inside. Now, as you receive the V-mail, there was a little part up here that was a tab. I was unfortunately unable to find a 8.5 by a 12, or even 8.5 by 11.5. Just a little bit for a tab, but that's all right. You just take this, you would pull it out like so. You would take and place it off to the side, and you would either write on it, or you could do what I'm going to do and use a typewriter. And then you know what? I always forgot. I have read into all of you, everyone watching Vintage Tech 1. And you know what? I didn't put who it's from, did I? So, how to set it in. I already folded this one, but you put this in easily like so. And you set your margins off to the side in the machine. I just like to refer to the typewriter as a machine. A typing machine. Now, once you got the margins lined up to where you like, this one's a little tricky, and lock everything into place. Now, I must say, the Smith Corona Skywriter, which is the one I featured in my typewriter basics, isn't absolutely perfect at typing on the lines, but you know, then again, who really is perfect at typing on the lines? If you are, very good for you. Me, unfortunately, sometimes I skip a line or so. So let's see. Who is it from? Well, from your host at Vintage Tech 1. So let's put Vintage Tech 1. And there's no 1 on this typewriter, by the way. You have to hit the L, but not in uppercase, just regular lowercase. And I will put next line, which does come up quite nicely. You could actually disengage the plankton just a bit on the side, the roller that is, just by flipping a little switch up on the bottom. It hides, tends to like to hide right about here. Now, you can sort of make it go up just a little bit so you can get who you would like to put it in from. And I'm going to put a little line, this little star asterisk key. You don't even have to hit any shift buttons because the line's right below it. And I'll put my first name. Go. I'll just loosen this up, undo the pressure on the plankton, and slowly I'll pull it out from the back. There we go. Now I put from Vintage Tech 1 Wesley. Now this is a very good thing to do. I actually sent a letter to a friend, a family friend, and they received it probably about, about the time you would send a letter, because they don't live too far away. It took about a week and they received it in the mail. It was perfect. It was on regular printer paper, so I did happen to use this paper called Marshmallow Stock Cards by Color Book. I'm pretty sure it's Color Book, but Color Book. And Color Book, which is not sponsored in this video, though if they'd like to, please send me an email or put a comment down below. I'd like to do things with crafts. Really crafty person on this. But it's a very good cardstock. I printed it out. It sort of got a little wedged in the machine. I was changing ink, so that's why it's still a little funny down here. But overall, I'm quite impressed. Something happened in the programming as it printed, but as I said, I was changing ink, so I'm going to do another run. Originally, it came out all smooth, perfect. I added the fold lines so I could fold it. This would be something I'd use for an example. I could mail it, though I need a little tab to put up here. The original V-mail had a little tab that went up and hooked, sort of like you have on your envelopes today, and a little adhesive. Of course, those adhesives, you all lick it and slap it down. Throw it in the post. If you were a service member, this was quite easy because all you had to do is you write your service rank and information down on here and who you want to send it to. Pardon me. Get a little drink of water. And I did mess up myself because I had edited quite a many number of these, and I kept the previous edits just in case I deleted them by accident. Now, this one here is pretty good besides not having the V-mail section, which is the way I sent it. So I have two sets. I have one that is pretty darn on par, perfect to the original, and then I have the one that's pretty close to the original as well, minus a few tweaks here and there. Now I did use mostly Times Roman, and on this one I believe I used the same one on Times Roman for the front. I used Gilibri, Gilibri, I believe is the name of it. I'll put the information down below in the description for the fonts for the other side. But the other pieces here, this is all written on typewriters, as you can see. Now, I wrote here, "Dear YouTubers watching, I am pleased to have you for today. A lovely 1950s, this is a 49 Smith Corona typewriter. It works decently." Oh, I was using my other typewriter, that's why, before I used this one. This one works very decently, besides the chassis on here sometimes gets a little loose from transportation. So what I did, when I open this up, I took it out. So I usually keep right in here, if I'm traveling, a very small screwdriver that fits right here but doesn't break or damage anything. It's about the long length, about this, probably the length of your pointer finger. And I stuck it in there, and it seems to go nicely. I carry it just in case, because the case does get loose. And I did add some washers, and the screws fit, very thin washers. But that's about more typewriter maintenance, isn't it? I'm gonna do this button here. There we go. Now, this was such a fun project. 2 weeks waiting for the actual V-mail to come in. And then, through the internet, I came across the real V-mail. Now, this real V-mail is very, very special to me. As you can see, historically, it has a significance since I've had family in both World Wars. And pretty much every single war on both sides. No, not on both sides, but for a very long time. Now the V-mail, you can see it's tore right here, unfortunately. That's alright. I was very careful when I took it out, put this on the typewriter, to scan it. So I scanned the actual V-mail to get the real size. Now, where did I put that little cover? The slip here. This is a smaller version compared to this. And this is something I'd put in a shadow box, just a test run. It's before I actually got a good size one printed out, so it actually can fit right side by side. So I think when I demonstrated earlier, I had this upside down because I put the fold on the wrong end. But that's okay. Now, this is what it looks like side by side. If I gave this to you in a case, and it was printed much better. I was a little issue with the printer on that one, but if it was printed exactly, would you know the difference? I should ask, actually. Let's see. I might include this towards the beginning of the video if I split it in, but which one do you think is true? This one or this one? There you go. Well, this one is the true one. This is the copy replica, or the replica, that is. Now the V-mail has a little bit of a niche in the back, so that you can pull the paper out individually, and then you can use it. For this purposes, since it's curled up this way, it's curled up that way. You can sort of see. I'm going to pull this one out and put this on top. The V-mail is pretty much the same as the one I created, so we're going to take one of these first ones. We're going to put them side by side. Actually, let's take the one that I put on the cardstock, or the marshmallow cardstock. Funny name for it. You can see this is a V-mail replica, and this is the original. We overlay it carefully. You can see the same little markings. And you notice it's missing the tab with the fold line, because mine, I couldn't find any 12, or this might be 13, special little tab. Well, you could always adhere a small piece of glue on the inside in here and make a tab so it folds over nicely, or you can put it on the outside. Just remember, if you do that on the outside, you can't use any staples as you send it through the post office, because it'll mess up the machine. So you just want to light glue, or you can tape it. I would suggest taping a little ridge on the inside if you were to recreate your own. Or do this. Very good. Now, the inside, I try to create as equally as replica as ever. Now, this is the one I did on the cardstock, and this is the one I did originally. Silly. I tried to get it so it went to the actual way it was supposed to go, as I'll turn it this way, you can see. And that took a couple of pages too. So it took a lot of time to make this. I'm very proud of it. As I may or may not have mentioned, I'd like to use this for a typewriter meet and greet that I'm planning on doing next year, or in the near future. Let's take this little thing, and you can see it has the little lines right here, and it says fold on the back. Well, you could fold it and then send it in the post. Of course, seal it up here, lick it. I don't know if the adhesion is still good, but it probably is. I don't know if it'd hold up in the post though. I think it'd fall apart before I even got to its location. Now, let's see. Very careful to put this in because I don't want to ruin it. You know, old documents are very fragile. And I would normally be wearing, and if you were in a museum, an archivist, you would be normally wearing white cotton gloves so you don't get the oils of your hand onto the paper or documents. Now, since it was so mass-produced, I'm not going to worry about that either. But this is in good condition. This actually has all 16 pages, unused envelope/letters. Why use up a lot of shelf space at the post office, or at home, or overseas? Have it more compact and easy, ready to use. If it fits in a typewriter, and you can also write on it for stationery, why not? It's a beautiful thing to use. Wow. It's lovely. Now let's see, where did I put that? See, when you get arts and crafts, you sometimes get clusters of things here and there. I try not to, but it does happen. Here we go. I'm going to leave it in here for now because it has a cardboard backing, it won't bend. I will find a space somewhere to store it. Preferably out of the sun, no heat. I want to keep it at a nice temperature. And that, my friends, concludes our review of the V-mail. Now, I hope you had a wonderful adventure, you wonderful retro adventurers, and remember, keeping it retro is something you can always do. So from here at Vintage Tech 1, your host, I wish you all a wonderful day. If you'd like to have more videos on items such as maybe you want a little update on the V-mail, the process of how to make your very own. Now everyone, have a lovely day. And from here at Vintage Check One, your host Wesley, remember, keeping it retro, the special way, any day, every day. Oh, and it appears to be time. Noon, that is. Take care.